It's nasty out there. So much rain. But hey, it's fall in New York City. What are you gonna do? It's been like a few days a week where it's just been pretty bad. So I decided I was gonna make use of it. You know, when life gives you lemons, make lemonade. So I called this great local photographer, Colby Blunt, and I said, hey man, it's gonna rain tomorrow night. I think we get some really cool shots of me and my electric unicycle, you know, some sort of Blade Runner-y, Tron-esque type thing. So I'm gonna talk a little bit in this episode about rain and your electric unicycle, while also showing you some really cool shots we captured out in the rain.
Coming alive. Whoa. Now is the time. Whoa. Don't try to hide. Cause I'm gonna harm you like an animal.
Okay, let's talk about your unicycle in the rain. What should you know? What should you expect? Before we get into the tips, the main thing you want to look out for with these wheels is water getting towards the battery or the control board. That's bad news all around. Number one, full disclosure, I ride my electric unicycles, rain or shine. The only exception, which we'll get to, is essentially when it's a torrential downpour. That's when it's just not worth it. It's not worth the uncomfortability. Just skip it. But I have 3 tips for what to do when you want to ride in the rain or if you get caught in the rain. The main thing you want to look for is where's your wheel susceptible to water. So my first tip is taping. So certain wheels have areas that are more susceptible to water getting in. I know a lot of wheels right where the outer shell and the inner shell meet is a problem area where water can sort of seep through. I know with sort of like the MSX, the button to turn it on and off, that is a problem area as well. Recently on the 16X, I've seen a puddle of water inside the light after being caught in a torrential downpour. So if you can put tape over or around that area, that's gonna greatly reduce the problem of water getting in. Now to my knowledge, none of these wheels, except for maybe some InMotion, none of them have a proper waterproof rating. I mean, what, like a year or 2 ago, the iPhone just became waterproof? None of these electronics are really gonna be that waterproof, especially a unicycle where it's basically a computer riding really fast on the ground next to the water and the dirt itself. So dirt, dust, water, it's gonna get in it somehow, but that's okay as long as you take proper maintenance and you don't get it on the main computer parts, basically. So if water is that concerning to you and you live in a wet climate, you can definitely open up your wheel and take a look of where you think the water might travel. It's not an exact science, but if you do a little research on your own wheel, you can kind of figure out where might be a problem area and you can do your own DIY hack.
So it's been kind of crazy. There's been a lot of interesting little angles and stuff, a lot of natural smoke and like, water. But I'm having to use my iPhone here because my other camera's just not cutting it in this wild weather. But yeah, we got some cool shots here. Got a little gap in the background. This thing has been pretty cool too. This big tall building here was pretty wild. But yeah, we'll see how it turns out.
All right, so tip number 2 is to source your own electric unicycle. We'll call it bodyguard or cover. Now I know a lot of the InMotion wheels have them that come with them. None of them, to be honest, are actually water rated, but they will do some protection to protect all of those problem areas I already talked about, where seams are meeting, where buttons have little seams, all those little creases where water could potentially get in. This is gonna be another step and layer to sort of help you mitigate that. Now there's a company I think they're in New Zealand, they're called rolls.nz. That's their website, rolls.nz. They make these really cool, what they call bodyguards for electric unicycles. I think right now they've only stuck to Kingsongs, but I'm sure with enough pressure and push, they would try to discover what the great world of Gotway is all about. Now I will say there are these sort of covers they make for like camera bags and backpacks that you can find online. I might put a link down below in the description from Amazon of where you can find something like that you can sort of use with your electric unicycle. Again, it's not made for it specifically, but it's definitely something better than nothing. So this leads me to tip number 3, which is maintenance. So when I ride in the rain, if it's a heavy downpour or a light downpour, it doesn't really matter. I have some simple things I do when I come inside. Number 1, you want to find a microfiber cloth or something that soaks up water very easily. If you don't have that, if you don't want to buy that, then just use a regular paper towel or a regular towel, whatever works for you guys. But you want to wipe it down very thoroughly after you come in from the rain. First, come in, turn it off, wipe down the sides, all around the pedals, the top. If you've got a wheel that has a fancy handle from Kingsong or even just a scorpion style, lift that up, wipe all in there, make sure it's actually dry. Don't just give it a quick wipe because you don't have time. Like, you know, this is your investment. So I would definitely take the time to make sure that there's no more water droplets anywhere. Do everything on the outside. Don't worry about the inside. That stuff's always gonna get wet or dirty or dusty no matter what. So just let that water just sort of fall off with gravity and keep your wheel upright. I think one of the worst things you could do is bring your wheel inside and then turn it on its side. So look, at the end of the day, you can totally ride in the rain. Are these officially waterproof from the manufacturer? Not really. So if you take some precautions to make sure you're good to ride in the rain, I think you could ride in pretty much rain or shine.
All right, Colby, so we just did this shoot, and what do you think was the hardest part about this weather shoot?
Well, that's the thing. It's like you never know. There's so many variables when you step out on the streets in New York to shoot. You can be dealing with people, you can be dealing with crazy weather, tourists, all kinds of things. But I think what was the hardest was just the spurts of it being like pouring rain and then fine. Pouring rain, then fine. Or like when you see a beautiful empty shot and the next thing you know, you have 15 tourists walking through it.
I know, it was like we started the night, it was pouring, there was nobody in the streets in Times Square, and then all of a sudden it let up a little bit, and then it would be like, oh, look at this nice shot.
Yep.
And then like 1,000 people would show up.
And then battle of the umbrellas, always.
Oh, God.
Well, we did it. We came to the end. This is a very simple topic. It's not a really extensive one. I don't have a whole long laundry list, but it's a topic that a lot of people are curious about. It comes up a lot in the forums, and I think it's just some simple techniques, some simple tricks that will allow you to enjoy your wheel, rain or shine. Thank you so much again for watching. I hope you got some value out of this. I hope you really enjoyed those pictures that Colby took. I thought they came out amazing. I was definitely going for a Blade Runner or Tron type look, and I think we basically nailed it. So if you're looking for some photography and you're local to New York City, definitely give Colby a call. His website is colbyblunt.com. And also his Instagram is @ColbyBlunt. I'll have the links down below. He also travels a lot for work, so it's potential he'll be in your town or near you. And if you're looking for some dope shots, I'm sure he'd be happy to oblige. So if you liked what you saw here today, give it a thumbs up and subscribe down below. Push that little notification bell. That'll tell you when I've got new content coming out. Also, if you're looking for another way to support my channel, I have a Patreon page as well. That's patreon.com/evx. You can go there and give whatever you want to give. But for now, I think we've covered everything we need to about the rain and your electric unicycle. So I'm gonna say goodbye and keep riding. Oh, one more thing. As you know, I'm part of the brand Everywhere, and we have some hats coming out soon, amongst other merch. Stay tuned for when the announcement is of when it's gonna come out, probably sometime after Halloween, but these are some of the hats that we're creating here. So stay tuned for when these get announced. We're gonna announce it probably on our Instagram, the @everywhere.nyc. But yeah, stay tuned for that.